Have you ever considered how much plastic you yourself use yearly? Plastic has become a part of our everyday lives. It often sits right under our nose, and most of us don't really put any thought into the effects of this material. While plastic bags, water bottles, and six-pack rings can be quite convenient, we forget to consider the long-term impacts these single-use plastics are leaving us with. According to Courtney Lindwall in the article Single-Use Plastics 101, we produce 300 million tons of plastic each year worldwide. Half of that is used for single-use items. Globally, single-use plastics have major effects on the environment, wildlife, human health, and it only continues to get worse. I am here to talk about what plastic really is, the effects this pollution has on us, the truth about recycling, and real action steps you can take starting today. While change isn't easy, we can all start small and cutting plastics out of our life. First, I'll talk about the convenience of single-use plastics, since it's something we've all used at least once. Whether it's a Starbucks straw, a takeout container, or even a candy wrapper, single-use plastic has become a part of our daily lives. There are even some great benefits to this throwaway material, such as surgical gloves or food safety during transportation. Throwing these items out almost feels harmless and often isn't even really thought about. But what really is single-use plastic? Put simply, single-use plastics are goods that are made from primarily fossil fuel-based chemicals and are meant to dispose right after use, often in mere minutes, says Lindwall. As people started to realize the durability and affordability, plastic began to replace paper and glass. According to the article Single-Use Plastics 101, over 8.3 billion metric tons of plastic has been produced, and it only continues to grow at a more rapid rate. This has especially been the case with the current pandemic, COVID-19. So now that we have a better understanding of what plastic really is, how does it affect us and our environment? Many of us have heard the effects that plastic has on the ocean. Since 2015, Skip the Straw and Save a Turtle has become a viral slogan. What many people fail to understand is that plastic doesn't stop polluting. Plastic breaks down into microplastic, which can attach to toxic chemicals, often killing aquatic animals that try to eat it. This can continue to harm these creatures through the ingestion of levels of the food chain. But the ocean isn't the only issue of plastic pollution. Single-use plastics are disposed in 3 different ways: incineration, landfill, or recycling. According to Brooke Bauman in the article How Plastics Contribute to Climate Change, greenhouse gases emissions from incineration is expected to increase 91 million metric tons by 2050. Incineration is a massive environmental injustice, not just in the United States, but all over the world, Arkin said. People who are subjected to the pollution from these incinerators often are the ones who are least responsible for the waste in the first place and have to bear the brunt of the impacts. Plastic also accounts for 4 to 8% of oil consumption. Oil, gas, and coal are the building blocks of plastic. About 19.2 million acres of land have cleared for the development of oil and gas just in the United States alone. When we look at only a third of this, it's responsible for the deforestation and the 1.7 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere. We have the power to promote change from these pollutions, but what does that really look like? We have been taught for years that the best thing we can do to help with pollution is to recycle. But according to the episode Recycling Sham on the show Broken, only 9% of plastic manufactured is actually recycled. A reason for this is that many of us are trying to recycle things that aren't actually recyclable. The next problem is that there are so many different types of plastic. For example, a berry container versus a spinach container. Both are made up of very different chemicals. If you squeeze both of these, you'll find that a berry container is much more flexible. When these two factors mix at a facility, it's almost impossible to actually make something out of them. Brooke Bauman says another issue we face is that compared to the low cost of virgin materials, recycled plastics are high cost with low commercial value. This makes recycling profitable only rarely, so it requires considerable government subsidies. The show Broken also states that there will be more microplastics than fish in the ocean by 2050. So the question stands, what can we do to help? It's hard to grasp such a huge worldwide problem and how to really be a part of the change. There are bigger solutions in the works, such as Steen's idea in the article Crafting a Federal Ban on Single-Use Plastics. He says Congress could shape federal policy by following existing local and state laws that have already been crafted to tackle plastic problems with bans on all types of single plastic items, from bags to expanded polystyrene, foam food containers to straws. While action like these are great, they would require a huge cultural shift, and there are still many changes that you and me can make starting today. A real solution to this problem is to stop using plastic. While it's not easy to cut out all the plastic in your life right off the jump, FootprintUsFoundation.org has a Take the Pledge to Quit Plastic campaign, which I think is a great place to start. If you go onto their website and click Take the Pledge, you can leave your name, email, and choose which single-use plastics you are going to quit. Some examples for making the switch are reusable grocery bags, stainless steel water bottle, reusable cutlery, and shampoo and conditioner bars. It's also helpful to shop at a local farmers market. The Tampa Bay Farmers Market opens at 8 a.m. every Tuesday on 1001 North Armenia Avenue. You can even return small fruit and vegetable containers back to the farmers market where they are able to be reused. Another great option is composting at home. This helps to reduce emissions. All you have to do is layer organic waste such as vegetable scraps, dry leaves, coffee grounds, or even gardening clippings into a bin, and then make sure the layers stay wet and are mixed weekly. A great website to look at to get a good idea of where to start or what to cut out is 100 Steps to a Plastic-Free Life. I'll leave the link in the bio if you are interested in learning more. I hope this helps you learn the seriousness of single-use plastic and what it is leaving for not only our environment but for us as well. I've talked about what single plastic use really is, how the pollution can be detrimental to our future, how recycling is not the answer, and what real steps you can do to help. This global issue only continues to get worse. Each and every one of us has the power to promote change. Together, we can rid the world of single-use plastics for good.